Alright, hello, this is Zero, and welcome to a tutorial on how to use the FF12 RNG Helper. So, RNG Helper is a program that you can use to help you manipulate RNG in FF12. So here's the program. Um, First thing you want to do is make sure that whenever if you're on PS2, it says your platform is PS2, and if you're on PS4, your platform it says that your platform is PS4. Otherwise, on other platforms, the RNG manipulation is not currently available. Um, then you need to make sure that your character's stats are correct. My Ashe is level 54, and her magic power is 55. So I have those input there, and I'm using the spell Cure, and I do have the Serenity augment. The Serenity makes you heal more when you're on full HP. So whenever you're healing and you have the Serenity, you have to make sure, or whenever you're manipulating and you have the Serenity, you have to make sure that the Serenity tick is on and that you are on full health when you start manipulation. So after that, you need to make sure that your data for the chest is correct. So I'm going to be manipulating the Zodiac Spear chest, and it has a 10% chance to spawn. So my appears chance here is 10. Its RNG position is 4, and what that means is that when I cross the zone line here, the Zodiac Spear will be the fourth thing that gets determined, or for which RNG gets determined. So it will use RNG for 3 other things first, and then for Zodiac Spear. When I'm manipulating the content, the guild chance for the Zodiac Spear chest is 90%. So that's why I have 90 here, and it's a Diamond Armlet chest, or Zodiac Spear requires the Diamond Armlet, and for the Diamond Armlet, item 1 chance is 90, and item 2 chance is 10. So this is what that means. If it was an ordinary chest, or if you didn't have to use the Diamond Armlet, then this would be 50. So this is for the regular PS2 version, this is always either 50 or 90, depending on whether you need the Diamond Armlet for it or not. Then there's the advance to appear. This is what I'll be looking for. This tells me when the chest is gonna spawn, and this tells me when it's gonna have the item I'm gonna be looking for. Oh yeah, the gil amount doesn't matter as long as you're not. If you're not manipulating for gil, there can be any number here, but it has to be a number, otherwise the program doesn't work. 0 is fine. And also there's this item 1. Zodiac Spear is the item 2, as are all the rare Diamond Armlet ones. But sometimes you want to manipulate the item 1. If you wanted to do that, then you would tick this on. Usually the item 2 is the more valuable one, but there are some cases where you want the item 1 instead of item 2. But yeah, so let's start manipulating. So first thing you want to do is you want to press clear here. That starts new manipulation. Then I do a cure, and I get a 773. I input that here and press either enter or click start. Doesn't matter which. Start. It starts a new manipulation. So if I were to insert another number here and press start, it would forget about my 773. That's why there's this continue button, and you can use the continue instead. But you can also just keep entering and keep pressing enter, and that will work until until you either press clear or start. If you have pressed clear, then enter works as start first and then goes to continue. But if you haven't pressed clear, then it's always continue. Okay, but yeah, let's. As soon as I hit enter, the numbers here started appearing. The first it gives me position 80 because that's where the very first 773 heal is in this cure list. I didn't. You should always cure multiple times though, because you need to do a couple of cures to find where you actually are in the position. As you can see, after the second cure, it's saying I'm already at position 1858, but I'm still not sure if that's correct. So I'm going to do another one, and I got the 777, or I got 777, which is not what it has here as 841, so I need to do another one. And now I'm already at position 3773. So if this is my correct number, then this would give me 785. And it does. So I'm probably at 785, but I'm going to do one more cure just to make sure. 813, okay. So now I'm pretty sure I'm at position 3775. So, it's saying advance to appear is 6. That means I have to advance RNG by 6 6 positions. Because if you look at the list, Zodiac Spear was 10% chance to spawn, and the first one in the percentage column, first that's below 10 is 8 over here. So, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 positions away from being Zodiac Spear. So if I were to enter now, the fourth number is 16, and that means that if Zodiac Spear chance was 17% or higher, then I would get the Zodiac Spear if I went through the zone line right now. But because it's 10, I need to go lower. So this number tells me how much I need to go lower by. So 6. I could do 6 cures, or I could use Cura. Cura advances RNG it's a multi-target, so it advances RNG by each cast, each time it hits. So using it on a 3-member party would advance RNG by 3. So if I would use 2 Curas and then cross the zone line, that would work, and I would get the Zodiac Spear chest to spawn. Same thing for Kuraja, but Cura is more MP. It's less MP. You could also use Black Magics. Black Magic consumes 2 RNG per hit, so I could use 3 Thunders, or I could use a single Fire, Tandara, Blizzara, or Arrow because they are multi. It's an AoE, so it hits 3 times, and 3 times 2 is 6. So single arrow would be enough. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Cura. So that consumes 3, so I'm gonna press enter 3 times, even though I did not get those values. And then I'm gonna have Bosch use Thunder once. on himself. That's 2, so I'm gonna press enter 2 more times. And now I'm gonna cure with Ash, and if this manipulation was, if I consumed the right amount, I should get a heal for 799, which is what I did. And then I will cross the zone line, because the advance to appear is 0, and now the chest should have spawned. Now I'm gonna go run to the chest. I'm gonna use the immobilized despawning to not die in the way. Oh, actually have the immobilized character out. That would help. So as you can see, the chest here has spawned. Now I'm gonna make sure I have the diamond armlet equipped, because that's what Zodiac Spear requires. And I'm gonna start manipulation again. I'm actually gonna bring out the rest of the characters as well. Once again, I make sure that my stats are correct. Ash did not level up, so they should be fine. Now I'm looking at the guild chance is 90%, and it's a diamond armlet chest, so item 1 chance is 90%. I want the white item 2, so this must be unticked. And guild amount doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna start the new manipulation by pressing clear again. And let's see. So 815. 806. 827. So 806. Okay. So I'm pretty sure I'm on 4072 right now. So what does it mean? Or and it says advance for item and then the shrug thing. This means that there is no zodiac spear in these 100 rows that we have here. It doesn't matter though. It just means that we are very far away from the zodiac spear. So we need a way to advance RNG fast or faster, and one way is punching. I'm unequipping Ash's weapon so that I can have her punch. You can also see that there's this thing called combo after punch number. This means that if I were to do 6 punches, Ash would combo. So that's why I used another cure to shift RNG. Oh, each combo advances RNG by a 10. So now that it says safe, now I can start punching. You can punch as long as it doesn't say 0, but since I know I'm gonna have to punch more than 6 times, I use the cure first, so I don't have to do punches and then cure. So here, because punch consumes 10, I have 10 here, and I press consume, and it automatically jumps 10. It jumps here by 10, and I will do this until I can see a number here instead of this emote. I'm also keeping an eye on the combo thing, so if it stops saying safe, then I'll be sure to cure before I combo. Okay, so now it's saying advance for item 97. So I will have to do 9 more punches. And then I will be and then I will start curing again. You want to make sure that your if you want to, you can do a cure every now and then to make sure that you didn't press consume button too many or too few times. But I should get an 848 here, which is what I did. So now I need I'm gonna use Cura and press enter 3 times. Using Cure 855, Bond gives me a different amount because he has different stats, but it doesn't matter. It still consumed 1, and I'm gonna use one last Cure. 796, now it says advance for item 0. I'm double checking that I have the Diamond Armlet equipped. And then I'm gonna open the chest and get the Zodiac Spear. So that's how you get the Zodiac Spear. I got a little bit unlucky that I was so far away from the Zodiac Spear, but at least I got to demonstrate the punching method. So that's how you can get the Zodiac Spear. There are other things than the Zodiac Spear to manipulate, and I want to demonstrate another one. I'm gonna load a different file that I have. It has it has the chest info as I want it to be. So I'm gonna manipulate the 2 chests in Suction Cave Palace. And I'm gonna demonstrate here how to both manipulate gil from a chest and how to manipulate two chests at the same time. So it will take me a moment to go to. No, I will also demonstrate how to manipulate with multiple characters. I'm gonna use two characters. They both have Serenity. I just need to double check their 71 level 66 magic power, and Vaughn has 70 level 70 and 59 magic power. I'm gonna insert those during loading screens. Need to remember 66 and 59. I'm pressing the clear. The it was 59, not 55. Just to be ready. So here, the two chests. First one has an 80% chance to spawn and is RNG position 5. And the second one has 70% chance to spawn and has the RNG position 4. I don't remember which one is which, but it doesn't matter as I have to manipulate both of them. If I had to guess, I would guess that the 70% chest is the more valuable one, so the one that will have 30,000 gil in it. And one thing you have to be sure of that is when you're manipulating is that neither you nor any enemies have regen on, because that will have regen advances RNG every time it heals. I'm gonna first heal the full HP, so Serenity will take over. So here what you do is you cure first with Ash, and then with... Actually, I'm gonna go to wait, just because for demonstration. Cure first with Ash, that was 1131. I cure with Ash first because her stats are in the first slot, and then I cure with Penna or Vaughn. I got 975. So I start, and then 975, and then as you can see, it has like Ashes, then Vaughn's, then Ashes, Vaughn's, Ashes, Vaughn's, Ashes, Vaughn's. Your values here. So you have to keep doing them in that order. So 1143, 964. So now I think I'm at RNG position 4471. And at the moment, if I would cross the zone line, this chest that has 80% chance to spawn would spawn. but this just wouldn't. So what I have to do is I have to manipulate until they both say 0. Unfortunately, at the moment there is no number that says advance until both spawn. That's something I would like, and hopefully we will have in the future. But at the moment, this is what we can do. Let's see, Ashwich 1, 1236, and now it's just 0 on both. And so now when we zone, both of those chests should spawn. So yeah, that's the one, and the other one is over here. So this is a little bit tricky screen because there are those strikers. As you can see, one of them is casting Protect. And if they cast Protect during your manipulation, it advances the RNG a little bit. So you have to be careful with when manipulating when there are enemies around, especially if there are enemies that can buff themselves like that. But here I'm gonna show a little bit of the trick as well, so I'm gonna only manipulate with one person. Targeting me. Oh, the guy's targeting me. That's okay though, since he can't actually reach me. Yeah, this also require Diamond Armlet, so I'm here. Now that I'm manipulating Gil, you can see we have to look at this contents, as there is no advance for Gil uh, here. So I have to pay attention to this. These both chests have a Gil chance of 10%, which is what I have put here. Um, so I have to look at any Gil values over here. So I put Gil amount as 0 for both of these chests in this one, because the Gil that these chests has is always the same. So it doesn't matter what number I actually have in this for these two chests. It will always be the same amount of Gil. But if the Gil was also variable, like, then you would insert the max amount of Gil you that chest can give on one of these, and then it would show different numbers here telling how much Gil exactly you would be getting from the chest. But here it always gives the same Gil amount, so it doesn't matter. And I'm at 4483, so if I were to pick the chest up right now, I would instantly get Gil. Um, because I got lucky. So let's do that. So that's 30,000 Gil. So now the next chest is right there. I could start the new manipulation, but because I'm right here, and I already have figured out where I am in the manipulation, I'm just gonna do one cure, and that gave me a number that I actually can't see. Maybe I misread the number. I'll do another cure. Oh no, 76. It usually gives me a number that's close to where I am, where I was if I do it like this. But for some reason I can't. Oh, I know why. Yeah, I changed my stats. Something changed. Oh, I had the Genji gloves on, and that gave me extra magic. And that's why I'm getting different numbers now. So I'm just gonna equip this to get back to magic power 66. So you have to be careful with your stats as well if you change your items or equipment in between. But yeah, now I got 1193, and you can see a 1193 right here. So that's probably where I am right now. So I'm gonna advance until I actually get this program there as well. I'm gonna do another cure just to be sure that I am actually there. There are other strikers here as well, so they might be casting protect. So I have to be careful when I do this. Either way, now I'm pretty sure I'm here now, so I'm back on track. And I didn't have to do a new manipulation from all over again. So now I'm looking at this, and I see that this is more than 10 away from here. Uh, this column tells you what I would get. But anyway, so the next gill is over all the way down here. So I'm gonna punch once to get myself there, or 10 more. And now I see it's fairly close. So I'm gonna do one cure to double check that I'm here. And I'm just gonna do cures because, well, as you can see, there's one guy casting protect. So let's see what happened. I'm at 12-11 now. So protect was 2, and then 12-11 gave me this. And now I have the gill right here. So now if I pick up the chest, I should get the gill from this chest as well. I optimized so I can pick up the chest as fast as possible so no one can get another protect in before I do. And here's the 28,000 gill. You can do the same manipulation without the diamond armor, but you would get less gil. I think it's like 8,000 and 7,000 gil instead of the 28 and 30k. But yeah, that's how you manipulate gil and chests. So now I'm gonna move on to manipulating rare game. And I'm gonna demonstrate 3 rare game manipulations. Starting with Ifuno. So Ifuno is just a basic rare game, but it's a very basic case. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. If you're manipulating a chest, make sure chest is the default. So if you just open RNG Helper, it's fine. But if you have done steals or spawns, you can click File and Chests to get the chest manipulation. If you click Steal, you can get the steal manipulation. But now we're going to manipulate rare enemies, so we are going to use the spawn thing. But they all look a little bit different. But you have to make sure you're on the right tab, and you can't even load a tab that's for a different. It will give you an error. So I'm gonna load my Ifuno, and let's see where my 42 and 49. One thing you want to make sure that when you're manipulating, your gambits are off, so that your party members, they won't start doing buffs in the middle of the manipulation. And also, some gambits, at least the ally HP less than 50% gambits, and I believe every gambit that's has like ally HP less than 70%, etc. They all advance RNG for some reason. Not really sure why, but they do. Yeah, let's do the manipulation. Just like before, in just manipulation, I'm going to um, first find my RNG position by using cures until I start getting amounts that it should chests. So 616. Next one is probably 637. Yes. And now it says advanced. Now here it says two numbers. Advanced to spawn, which is the number you usually want to look at, or last one before 2. I will explain this in a very shortly, but first let's just focus on this. Oh yeah, in rare games, minimum chance is always 0, and maximum chance is the chance that it has to spawn. But you can also use this to manipulate weather. Um, in weather, you sometimes want between 60 and 80%, for example, or you want it to be between 50 and 100%. So that's why there's the min chance. Um, and RNG position is 9 for Ithuno. And here you can see this looks a little bit different. This is raw RNG. It's a number between 0 and 2 to the power of 32. And percentage is this raw RNG number divided by the 2 to the power of 32. And this percentage is what determines when the rare game is going to spawn. So if it's between 0 and 20, it means that I need to get one of the percentages that's below 0.2 to be 9 RNG positions away. So this time it looks like it's this one, the position 4704 that would spawn Ifuno. So it's currently 11 RNG positions away, so I have to use 2 cures to get to it. 639 and 632. And now Ifuno should spawn. Let's double check that it actually did. Yes. Now you can go and steal the Deathbringer if you want to. There we go. Oh, I was expecting it to kill Ash. Also, you saw me kill those 3 Enders. They can be sometimes confused and they can cast regen on themselves. That's why I killed them. They can respawn, so I made sure they haven't respawned. And I'm gonna do another manipulation. So this time I'm gonna manipulate 2 rare games at once. They are Minibuck and Ishteen. I'm gonna make sure my stats are correct again. So Minibuck is this one, between 0 and 20, and RNG position 7. And it's actually the last one that spawns. Last RNG that spawns. So this RNG position 8 is the first tick that's gonna happen after after I enter the zone. So how each team works is that whenever I'm in the next zone or the zone after that, I think every 8 seconds, or is it 15 seconds, or every so seconds anyway, there's 2% chance that he spawns. And so I have to make sure that there's an RNG position 8, or RNG position that's below 2%, very close to when I enter the area. But I also have to make sure that RNG position 7 is below 20%. So I'm looking for that kind of combination, and that's where this last 1 before 2 comes into play. It means that last rare 1 before the next rare 2 happens. So that's what it means. So I'm gonna start the manipulation now. 636. 639. 594. Okay. So now you can see that there would be a Minibuck 4 positions away, but I still need 26 to spawn the second rare, the Ishtin. So I would have to wait for a long time for this to happen. So that's why I'm rather going for the Minibuck that's 19 away, because that way I don't have to wait so long for Ishtin. I'm gonna do that. 636. Oh, thing spawned. Or thingy is spawned. Now I lost where I was at RNG, so I have to refigure it out. I think I just missed it too. 623, 594, 4, 605. So you can see those numbers here, so that's where I am right now. So I'm gonna get there. And luckily, I happen to be just where I want to be, actually. So it says last 1 before 0, last 1 before 2 is 0, advanced spawn is 7. So this means that, yeah, 0. So I have to be like, I have to consume 7 RNG when I'm in the zone. But it also ticks every now and then, so I have to be sure I don't overshoot. So let's see. First, let's make sure that Minibuck spawns. You can see, yeah, you can see him on the minimap, on the at the dead end there. On the map, you can see that he has spawned. So now I'm gonna do cures. The 643. I'm now looking at this. Where 643? It's right over here. Oh well, no, it's right over here. So I have to get this 5. This one is where Ishtin will spawn. So I would have to wait for a long time if I were to just Then here. So 597 happened, so that means there was one Ishtin tick in between. 635, we're getting closer. 634. So I'm not gonna do another one. I'm just in case there's an Ishtin tick right before my next tier. So I'm just gonna wait until he spawns, and then he should teleport right next to me. There we go. That's a way to get it go a little bit faster. Yeah, that's how you spawn Ishtin. And Minibug. Um, Now I'm gonna demonstrate how to manipulate a replacement enemy. So if Uno was just a random chance when you cross the zone line, same with Minibug. But there are some enemies like Razor Fin is one notorious one that that you can't manipulate just by zoning. Like you can zone it multiple times and it will increase the chance every time if you wanted to do without manipulation. There are some enemies that replace other enemies, and those you have to zone 2 zones away to get another chance to spawn them. So they are a little bit trickier to spawn, and a little bit um, they're a bit trickier to spawn, and they are also harder to respawn or um, to try again. So I'm gonna show how to manipulate them. So here I have it on the rare 2 section this time. So I'm looking at this advanced spawn number. So it will replace one of the Worgens here, and I'm at least not seeing it right away. So what I'm gonna do is that as soon as as soon as I spawn the next Worgen, it will tick for this guy to spawn. Let's change my stats first. 161. So I have to make sure I don't get hit. No RNG gets consumed between the manipulation and when I spawn the next Worgen by running close to it. Okay, so what happened now is that I got a huge number here. That means that something went wrong. Most likely, there's a fire elemental in this zone that casted Protect or something. So I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna clear and start a new manipulation. And if the same thing happens, I might do something. Okay, this looks like we're in a good place. Now I'm just hoping that he doesn't use Protect again. I'm gonna 959 and 969. Then I have to. Now I'm running forward to spawn the next Worgen, and instead there's a variable. So that's how you spawn those guys. But yeah, the Fire Elemental is problem with this particular manipulation. But this works for Werewolf, Terror Tyrant, Razorfin, Nazarnier, all the annoying ones. Dreadguard, or is Dreadguard one? I forget. I forget if the Dreadguard is a regular spawn or not. Either way, that's how you manipulate the replacement enemies. You just have to do it in the same zone, and RNG position 1, it's always 1 for them because it's the next RNG that gets consumed. And then you just run past the spawn line. Next, I'm gonna demonstrate how to manipulate weather. And weather can be very similar to rare games, or it can be a little bit trickier, depending on in which zone you are. I'm gonna manipulate Giza weather because that's one of the more complicated ones. And it's actually required in OOA, for example, to spawn the N-type. Well, you can just zone until the weather changes as you want to, but this way can be faster. If it takes long for the weather to turn stormy. Once again, there's an elemental here that's probably gonna cast Protect or do some other annoying stuff, so I'm gonna kill the Entite first. Oh, there's a Rain Dancer. I didn't know he can spawn in this zone, but let's kill him anyway. I don't know if he affects the thing or not. That's why I killed him. I don't think he does, but I feel like he could have a regen sometimes. Probably not though. Okay, the enemies did not spawn me, so it's good. I'm just gonna Kira, and then do a manipulation. I'm gonna check my stats again. 61 and 61. Same as last time. So now here you can see that my rare 1 is minimum 50, maximum 100, and rare 2 is minimum 0, maximum 50. So this one is RNG position 1 and this is RNG position 2. So how weather in Giza works is that the first slot determines whether the weather will change or not. And because we are on a rainy weather, if this was stormy or there would be no rain, the weather could only go from stormy to rainy or stay itself. So this one would never happen because there's no two options. But because we are in a light rain, it could turn either. If it changes, it could turn to either stormy or to no rain. So it's a 50% chance to change. So that's why I have. It's actually from 50 to 100 to change, and from 0 to 50 to stay the same. And if it changes, then it rolls again to see whether it will change to stormy or no rain. And if it's between 0 and 50, it will turn into stormy. If it's between 50 and 100, it will turn into no rain. So let's start the manipulation. 940. You can see they are color coded. The chances don't matter too much. But once again, I need to manipulate until they are both true. This is probably would work, but I will, for demonstration's sake, I will hear a little bit more. So, like, for example, here you can say advance to spawn 2. This one means that the weather will stay the same. If this is anything but 0, then the weather will stay the same. So now Now if I zone, it should turn into Stormy because they are both 0. If this was 0 and this was not 0, then it would stop raining instead of turning into Stormy. Yeah. So yeah, if they're both 0, then you can go. So let's go. And it is Stormy. You can probably see it, but I'll prove it just by showing the end tide. There's the end tide. And final thing you can manipulate with RNG Helper are steals. So I'm gonna demonstrate how to manipulate a steal. Um, so you can manipulate rare steals with this. Um, Inserting stats again, and um, you can manipulate any kind of steals, but usually you want the rare steals to be manipulated. So this one shows you with and without Thieves' Cups. And what I'm gonna manipulate is I'm gonna manipulate an embroidered tippet from a coral. It's kind of exciting because I've never actually manipulated one before, so we'll see how it works. Or if it works, it should work. Just be further away from them so they don't get in our way. So 1234. Manipulation goes the same as previously. 1211. 1225. Now you can see that we're 37 away from it, so I'm gonna consume a little bit. Okay, so here you can see like this is what you are getting. Um, this would be what you would be getting with a normal steel. This is with Thief Cups. It seems like it's made for TZA because it has multiple um, steels with the Thief's Cup, so I guess that's the thing. But we're not using Thief's Cups anyway, so that's fine. I'm gonna advance RNG 3 times. Make sure that I'm still on track with the RNG. One 32, and I should get 1187 here, and then send someone to steal. Now I should get Emperor Tibet. I did not get the Emperor Tibet because one of those corals used a move on me before I got the steal off. So that was a bit annoying. So let's try again. Manipulating steals is tricky because of that. You have to make sure you don't get hit. Um, Don't steal again. Hmm. He used Rake this time though, so it might have still be that the Rake went off first. So I'm gonna still try. I was hoping he would not use an instant move. Okay, this one should give me one. I'm gonna double check. Oh, yep, there we go. So yeah, it's just sometimes you can get hit before you get the steal off. Um, you can do things like you can put the enemy you're stealing from asleep so they won't hit you. Stuff like that. But manipulating steals is definitely the hardest thing out of the three to do, just because of that. But yeah, we managed to get the Emperor Tippet, and yeah, that's it. I will be putting some info and links to the description. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this was of help to you.